The biggest challenge is how to convey the nuance of subtle Japanese adjectives and nouns in English. Today, we have 5 words for you. They are iki, wabi-sabi, miyabi, furyu, and shibui. I want to use this subtle expression properly. The aesthetics of iki describe it as the taste, preference of the most sophisticated men and women participant at clients, geisha, and kabuki actors of the thriving entertainment qualities called the ukiyo-e or ukiyo floating world of Japan's urban centers, particularly Edo, Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto. It celebrated the dynamic scenes of conquer that differ and their amorous but strained and interrelationships and captured the boldness they exhibit under the specter of the politically repressive military regime. This sensitivity was manifested visually in their tasteful, finely made clothing, the flagrant accoutrements, and the elegantly appointment banquet halls and tea rooms. Second word, wabi-sabi, is difficult to translate. The word wabi-sabi has been closely linked to the aesthetics of the tea ceremony. Described his preference for using the tea water inexpensive, locally made utilitarian vessels, an expression that by 7th century had evolved into the phrase wabi cha, poverty tea. His followers perfected and popularized his tea, aesthetics of which remains closely associated with Chanoyu today. Objects used for wabi-style tea ceremonies, although seemingly simple and humble in appearance, are among the most costly and desirable tea ceremony products of all. The origin of the wabi style of Chanoyu is usually described as emerging from Zen Buddhism's philosophy of worldly detachment, simplicity, purity, and humility. Indeed, all the early wabi tea masters were devout Zen Buddhists. However, aesthetic values implicit in wabi-sabi already existed prior to Zen's introduction to Japan. The word sabi appears in Japan's earliest native language waka poetry anthology of the 8th century, where it describes it as wistful, melancholyful, exquisite beauty that vanished with vicissitude, one of many changes and problems and the situation that you have to deal with at the time. The flip side of the understated and restraint and beauty of shipbuildings of wabi, sabi, and iki is a more opulent arrogance associated with Japan's elites and intellectuals, described as miyabi, courtly arrogance, a word that expressed the pinnacles of refinement and beauty, wistfully contemplated. Closely related to miyabi is a furyu, rowing with wind, a word that was also first clearly articulated on the Heian period. Originally a Chinese term, it entered the Japanese vocabulary in the 8th century when it more simply described the gracefulness and propriety of countries. Furyu had become an aesthetics term describing things and events out of the ordinary, such as poetry, competition, unconventional display of flowers in a garden, opulent, luxurious costume, decorative art, lavish, elaborated banquet, formal meal, and spectacles associated with court and religious festivals. The very aesthetics of the tea ceremonies became described as hoodoo activity. In this scene, hoodoo implied a conspicuously restricted elegance closely to shipbuilding design and construction of the ships, meanwhile influenced by the later Chinese evolutions of the word. Hoodoo came to be used to describe the aesthetic preference of Japanese intellectuals and artists who regarded with disgust and hatred the presented policies of the Tokugawa military regime. Shibui, or the subtle elegance. The adjective form of the noun shibumi has a literary meaning of something possessing an astringent taste, slightly bitter, or acidic. Its usage dates back to the Muromachi period. By the 17th century. The term had come to describe a distinct sense of beauty, understated and well-crafted, exquisite, but not overly sweet, the opposite of showiness or gaudiness. The word conveys a sense of arrogance or refinement, sophisticated simplicity, tranquility, natural imperfections, and modesty. It is closely associated with the wabi-sabi aesthetics of the Japanese tea ceremony.